And when they use the movement abilities, then use the grapple and get back, and then he's free. Playing up there the entire time, he grapples to the other side. The Tracer or the Genji can just jump right across.
He just died. He just got picked out by EQO there. He was actually surrounded by teammates on the high ground there. Harry Hook might be able to resurrect him, and he does. So that high ground control still with the Dallas Fuel. And EQO's now out of the picture. But Snillo's been let into the back door here, and he's causing a lot of problems. AKM's able to force his recall now with that Widow's Kiss. And there it is. That's the shot. You can kill the Snillo. They're kind of flank for Snillo, should I say. May well pay dividends yet. EQO with the Dragon Blade, though, and again, no support ultimates to play into. And Seagull is down. That's half of Dallas Fuel's damage removed in one hero, and that's the fight.
I was going to say, it's almost better in that case than getting a support, right? You get just the main source of damage for the Dallas Fuel, and you put him in a position, Seagull, he was by the Mega Health Pack on the bridge, where there's no chance he gets rezzed from there. Harry Hook not able to go all the way towards him. AKM will make the switch, play Tracer here on point B. The Fusion have taken point A.
Attempted to resurrect here for Neptuno, and he actually gets it off, and this is going to allow the Fusion to come forward with all these players. OGE now going down. Dallas, that's a very risky resurrect to make it. OGE is going to have to respawn. There's no way they're going to bring him back now. Snillo is just going to try and cordon off this right-hand side of the point and pressure any player who tries to cross. See that AKM is trying to do just that. And Philly are looking reluctant. They've had to back up, but that's Boombox with a big two. Both DPS is down to him. Harry has to use the res to bring Seagull back, but it might be too late.
Yeah, they did get fraggy at the beginning of that fight, but it may not be enough. You still have Poco on the point. EQO will get rezzed, as Poco does have a self-destruct to use here, as OGE gets weak as he pushes on in. He'll use Primal Rage to stay alive on the point.
Pressure down now. Seagull, he didn't have another remote mine available. He couldn't use it to get away, and EQO chased him up. Harry Hook down now to the Genji. And now we're starting to see EQO really get his engine powering along, Matt. Mickey's down, and Neptuno did fall into the self-destruct of Mickey, but they're going to Transcendence now after the fact. This is going to put Dallas even further in the hole in what will be a dragged-out fight. AKM trying to back away, and once again, Snillo punishes him after the recall. We have a May on the point, of course. Seagull now just trying to cool things down for a moment, and Poker can't do much about that, Matt.
No, I mean, everybody weak here for the Philadelphia Fusion. Looks like Dallas Fuel will hold on. Wonder if you see Seagull stay on.
Look at this disengage.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this re-engage coming in now. Seagull has to go. Oh, he's got Fraggy frozen. The Primal Rage doesn't mean too much if he's looking like a statue out there. Seagull now goes into his ice block, and AKM just picked up two crucial kills off screen. It's Fraggy and Snillo going down. Now EQO needs to try and dance around and throw that into Seagull May. We know about it. We've heard about it. Matt Legends tell of this man. But EQO is able to slay the menace that is that May, and now EQO can do more work on the point.
And if Dallas can just keep trickling in here and stall this out, Mitch, they will have a Blizzard to use. As Unko will come on, he'll use Transcendence. Seagull coming out of the spawn. Could get a big Blizzard here playing May on this point.
It's going to be a huge turnaround. Philadelphia haven't managed to take the point yet. Wall
nice
goes
play.
up. He makes sure they can't block the use of that Blizzard there, of course. No chance of eating it when there's a wall up, and now the Fusion are getting shoved off the point. Fraggy jumps in, but Poco's so low, and a Transcendence might be a little bit late to the party. What a wall! No healing available now to the Fusion across that one. Seagull, what a clever man. Cerebral approach now, and this defense is looking like it's been shored up real good. Can't get past the north. Big old wall there. Have to go over or through. However, EQO has that in mind himself. Transcendence is forced by Unko. He would like to stay alive, and oh, AKM, how good are you on that one? Not good enough! Gonna be AKM and Harry Hook going down. That's pretty much going to end the fight right there and then. Now, in all fairness, Matt, they still force Boombox into using his Transcendence, and then he immediately farms 20% of his next one before he drops down with all the damage he's done.
Yeah, it's, no, this is why a lot of people didn't play tank-heavy comps. Will get a touch.
Drops in briefly. It's forced a recall straight away. He still gets EQO, though. Knocked away by Poco as soon as he touches the point, but AKM has access to the health pack in the back room. Gets rid of the mech, but it's forced to self-destruct, and AKM went down to Snillo. Unko's trying to drop in, they've got to get to the point, and now that Transcendence is going to be committed to get them there, but no, it's a three-man Riptire! Again, burst damage beats, healing over time, and it looks like the Dallas Fuel weren't ready for it. EQO going to ruin their day. Once again, it's like he's done it already 7 times in one map already. It looks like we're in store for more of the same, Matt. There it is, map 1. Philadelphia Fusion keep it on lock. Forced off the point. EQO checks for Seagull's location. He was actually working on the other side, trying to coordinate and be part of a pincer effort. It's going to be self-destruct here, and Poco actually drops to it. He'll get one for his troubles, though.
See if you're able to get a res on this. As OG does fall, Harry Hook spends his res on Unko. They do get Poco back up. Seagull, though, takes out EQO, so you lose a little bit of damage, and Mickey a little bit earlier in the fight used a really nice whole hog trying to push Fraggy back, and they basically use it. And let's see if they use Transcendence here. As Boombox gets pretty low, they'll use a self-destruct, but Mickey gets A kill there on the Poco. They'll use the Transcendence to actually res. Oh, actually, they don't get the res off as AKM who takes Neptuno out there in the final moments. Duck doesn't move around. This will get res right back up as well.
That Transcendence was in play. Ryujehong got the resurrect, but got landed on by Fraggy almost immediately after, but it doesn't matter. The Dallas Fuel are holding on. Now, Ryujehong, with Fraggy getting taken down so early, and now Snillo has to throw himself at the point. A bit of a last-ditch attempt. Boombox falling down now to the Helix rocket, should I say, and now's the tactical visor for the AKM. No one gets to the point here. It's been pretty much zoned out. It's covered by the Dallas Fuel. This defensive, slow-moving composition's working really well on their defense. And now it's going to be up to Snillo and Fragger to try and break through somehow, but they're not getting any damage done. They're not winning out at all, getting any picks or even in their numbers. And now we go into overtime, and Fraggy basically has to loop around. He can't get there. Full hold. First point, Dallas Fuel on Numbani. Or, you know, even a Mercy in that case. We saw how the San Francisco Shock, for example, have made such good use of Moira and getting onto the point, creating a safe zone for your backline. No safe spaces here, though. EQO gets 4 charges straight in, and 2 of those were off those resets. And Dallas couldn't do much about that.
Like, that's probably what you could have done on the offense.
You sound slightly exasperated. He's not going to push any further around the back.
And if Dallas pokes for a while here, Mitch, you will get support ultimates back here for Philadelphia. Mickey gets taken out on the point.
That's just punishing. He just got pummeled by orb after orb, and there was nothing he could do about it. Again, the Dallas Fuel don't have that high ground access unless they use the stairs. And unfortunately, they've been a stairway to heaven so far, especially with EQO jumping on them. Or is it? Transcendence now used by Onco, and he was forced out of position, and AKM onto the point with a tactical visor. He's got really no room to use it, and now attacks back at him. Oh, that was beautiful! EQO gets shut down by a Helix rocket, and his Dragon Blade goes down the drain with it. Now AKM able to come back into the fight with Boombox being removed by OGE. It's up to EQO and Snillo to equalize, and there it is! EQO finds AKM. Now it's only OGE on his own, and he's going to jump out. He manages to catch EQO with a flailing fist. He's got no backup. It's just him against the world, and it's not enough in the Fusion. Get their second map of the series after what can be described as 2.
Should be able to get a ton of free damage. I mean, you already see.
This is the dream!
He has a rocket barrage already. The first 30, yeah, builds it up in 30 seconds.
Oh no! He drops it in there! AKM Unco are down. At least there was a response, but EQO still got Seagull's mech after it charged in and gave his life up. Now, can you recover from this with the Dallas Fuel? The answer is no. Dead to rights. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Time of death, 2 p.m. Call it, it's 5 p.m. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Coco, though, swinging for the fence. Doesn't quite connect with that charge, and AKM is down. So Snillo and Frankie getting the work done, and Coco realizes probably lacks the resources to be going on with here. And now, the Dallas Fuel, they're trashed, and they're scattered. But now he returns, and those Hellfire shotguns are finally going to taste some blood. He get EQO at least, and he found Poco's mech. The Death Blossom does work out fairly well, forcing Philly away, and it might have to be a disengage from them here as Neptuno will just stagger and die on the point.
So you do get it up to 99%. As he actually gets hit with an Earth Shatter, Boombox, you know, he was actually pushed all the way aside, but you know, it's going to be Coco so alone there, Mitch, as Snillo takes him out in the pulse bomb.
Unco manages to catch up EQO at least with a coalescence at the end of the fight, but Dallas commit 2 support ultimates to still lose the first 2 picks. AKM now going to create a little bit of space on the point. No one's going to walk up to him during Death Blossom, but he's low. Remember, Reaper needs to do damage to get health back. He's not benefiting from healing, so he needs to leave the point. Return at a later point. Boombox, downrange, finds Mickey. But the Philadelphia Fusion running out of players here. This is such a durable composition from the Dallas Fuel. It's so tough to get close. No! Snillo catches out Ryujehong. Seagull gets too close to his Lucio. Now gets the D-suit or the re-suit self-destruct to get his mech back. Then Chino returns to the fray. Boombox is down. Philadelphia's still in this one. They've actually got a man advantage on the point right now. And Frankie has Primal Rage. Seagull will be the last one to be focused down and pushed off the point. He's going to try and keep this one staggered out as long as he can. But he will go down just as 3 players from Dallas return. But Boombox is all over it like moss on a rock. Mickey gets in there and Chino's down, but the Transcendence is here from the Fusion just to make this much more of a robust fight for them. And now Dallas will have to go for the overtime fight in the dying seconds. Do they have time? No!
Snillo was able to keep that alive. Now you have a Riptire and Rocket Barrage available.
I mean, it's so hard now for this composition to push into the point, push into a Pharah when they don't control it. EQO gets so much free damage on them as they push out, and that's it. A lot of fireworks in that fight, a lot of explosives.
I mean, they do use Riptire and Rocket Barrage there.
I guess created for the Dallas Fuel. And now EQO's just going to wait until he needs to get in there. Seagull tries to go for the Blizzard. He does get it off by the looks of things, but he goes down in the process, and EQO can regain the skies once again. Now, Dallas have the point, which is great. It's unlikely they'll hold it for long here, though, as now we'll see the Fusion start to circle around. There's no May to wall up half of the point, and there is a lot of rockets here from EQO.
It's going to be the Rocket Barrage that comes on through. He gets Unko in Coco. The point will quickly go back to Philadelphia as the Dallas Fuel not able to hold on to that for too long.
Not a whole lot of it. He got a fraggy there with the fists before he used Primal, but it was more just sowing some discord there. Coco wasn't able to finish off any targets, and the Transcendence was still able to be employed by the Fusion in this fight, so it's not looking great for Dallas. Seagull now is back returning to the fight. He did die early last time, and he does catch out EQO. Seagull eventually goes down to Boombox yet again. But it's only Fraggy, Neptuno, Snillo, and Boombox here, so they're a little bit low on players. It may not matter though. Boombox is wrecking them, and Dallas got the point. The Fusion couldn't move back on. Sometimes having a big and bulky composition. You get a full health Zarya for like your 5 HP Mercy. I think you take that a lot of the time. And now Philadelphia have the numbers to push back in. It's just Harry on the point, and EQO finally gets that headshot, or that finish. It wasn't the head, but it'll do the job.
There may be some changes coming out here.
Causing him problems on his own. So the Fuel a little bit split. See that Snillo's going to back to the rest of his team. And this Primal Rage from Fraggy, though, is going to make it very hard for Fuel to line their ducks up, as it were. Pushing to the point. AKM's down. He was the one that had the ability to turn this fight around. He had the Graviton Surge, but his head gets plucked by EQO. And now the Philadelphia Fusion could make life even harder for Dallas. That is the worst player to lose in a case like this. And AKM might not have a chance to have a good Graviton with the rest of his team all up for the rest of this round. Boombox is a consolation for Seagull, but that's about it. And Dallas are in deep trouble.
Yeah, I think he was just waiting for the right time to grab. Everybody's so spread out for the Philadelphia Fusion. You'll get a touch.
Still not! He still couldn't use the Graviton, and now we're in overtime. Self-destruct on the point. No chance for the Dallas Fuel. I'm gonna be honest.
Great tracers. I mean, that's a shot that Snillo puts a shot into AKM, and then he just kind of moves position a little bit. Finishes off AKM there as Snillo will fall, but the kill's starting to go in favor of Philly.
Yeah, Neptuno's got a lot of health as well. This Roadhog's looking good to go. Again, AKM was trying to avoid taking that battle against Snillo at all. If you notice, we're watching from Snillo see a Riptide now come from the other side of the field. And that's Seagull. He finds Boombox, so both Mercies are down, and AKM finds Snillo. So that should deadlock this one up for a little bit now. Dallas again showing that hallmark defensive strength.
Yeah, it was a nice swoop on down there from Mickey, who's able to pick up a kill, then just start right back out. So Billy not playing it
safe. You definitely want a Genji who can get in and get out scot-free, and then brought EQO back into the fight, so that's something. Here's that Riptire. Seagull charged that up disgustingly fast, and EQO, as he tried to get into the back, gets blown up. See Seagull now be immune to his own Riptide.
It's such a big kill at the beginning from Seagull.
Neptuno just smashed AKM.
Yeah, he's coming out of Valkyrie. He's able to take him out. Mercy versus Widow, very difficult fight to take as Mickey will fall as well. Seagull's still alive here up on that high ground, putting down so much damage, just trying to keep Dallas in this.
He's actually going to be able to turn the fight around. With Fraggy now going down, a little bit of extra damage goes a long way. AKM's returned. EQO has been removed. So it's Unko on that Roadhog, trying to stay alive. He's soaking a lot of damage there. He does escape briefly, and Mickey's going to try and help him, but Seagull's down now to Boombox. Dallas were playing in 4 different parts of that last little area there. They were very split up. It felt like a matter of time before the Fusion broke through.
I thought Seagull was going to be able to do it, though. He's getting very... Philadelphia's trying to create some space here.
Sees the Riptide coming, and Fraggy's just a little bit too far forward. He'll drop, but it's responded. Now Seagull goes in. It goes down, should I say. It's EQO to respond. Resurrect was there, and Harry Hook managed to get it off, but still fell to the blade of EQO now. Only 2 or 3 Dallas Fuel players are around right now.
As Unko will go, okay, so they make the change so Unko can play Zenyatta here. So you bring in both supports, that'll be a halt and a hook combination. Takes out EQO, it'll be a self-destruct from Poco.
It's likely
that
gets
the supercharge.
We get a switch off for EQO now. If he's playing against an Orisa and Widow, it's kind of hard. I mean, AKM can kind of play around that shield a lot. Yeah. Try and keep him alive. The Robin to his Batman, as it were. And AKM has a lot of space now to pressure down on EQO and Co. The Fusion can't dive on him yet. They need to set up on the payload and try and stay there, lest they give up this overtime.
But like I mentioned, with these large tanks on the side of the Dallas Fuel, you're probably going to have a Dragon Blade here as the payload getting very close to
this
completing the match.
It's all gone wrong!
And it's going to get there. The Dallas Fuel not able to get back and get a touch.
It's pretty funny, that one. So Snillo gets AKM gets Snillo, should I say, and that's Seagull finding Boombox. It's a Hanzo. Oh! It's a chain hook! So Neptuno lands a hook, but then gets hooked himself, cancels the hook. That means that Seagull doesn't get pulled eventually in the Dallas Fuel. They're on the road. Some interesting and odd interactions there, Matt. But Dallas will win the fight.
Well, look, the double sniper putting a lot of pressure on Snillo. Snillo doesn't play Widowmaker for this team. It's usually EQO or Carpe. Carpe not playing today, so you put Snillo in a tough spot. He gets caught out right at the beginning. Snillo also uses Infrasight here, so Billy using ultimates and not getting anything for it.
This is AKM, he's getting them consistent picks now. He's starting to feel it a bit more. Boombox and Snillo both go down to the Dallas Fuel sniper. Or one of them, of course, as Seagull is terrorizing on the Hanzo as well. EQO is AKM's third victim of this push. And the Fusion are losing ground very quickly. Look how across the high ground, in fairly comfortable positions that forces the defenders to get aggressive, just like this.
The scatter arrow, though, as Seagull gets dove on. That's why he's so dangerous to dive that Hanzo. Just shoots the scatter arrow down at the ground. He takes out Fraggy. Be a whole hog from Mickey as well, from Munko as well. He's just trying to stay alive, but there's going to be the dash shoots from EQO. It sets it all up. EQO at the beginning of that fight was actually behind the Dallas Fuel. They had no idea he was playing in that back position.
He snuck in and he got a Dragon Blade in one fight. That's a very good sign for the Fusion.
This is AKM. Unko uses the Transcendence. You're going to get very close here to a Valkyrie for the Dallas Fuel if you can stay alive on through this.
Zilla getting burnt there was pretty nasty. I think AKM managed to get the flashbang on him and he was just run over. He's brought back into the fight here and the Dragon Blade from EQO is going to have to be big, but so far it's been tiny. AKM stops him with a flash and gets the damage down. 2 kills with McCree and AKM has really been big for the Dallas Fuel, especially in this map. Finding Neptuno to add to the list of the bodies that have hit the floor. And now Mickey will just try and zone out with his big body. Stillo's down, Fraggy jumps in. It'll just be him for the time being and the Riptide says, no, I don't think so. Both teams will get themselves a minute extension on time and we'll go again.
Pressure on Snillo here, but Mickey goes in a little bit too deep. Neptuno comes in for the cleanup. Nice play there by Neptuno. They baited him in that second time.
Now, this is trouble for the Fuel now. Losing that Widow means Snillo gets a lot of freedom. They've got no shield right now. Coco's waiting for the cooldown. He gets it, shields back up, but not before AKM was taken down. And now it's going to be Danger City. Is Coco just trying to hide around that corner, use that as much as he possibly can. Snillo plugging shots away from the background. You see, he's trying to get onto Coco, who can't do much. He moved forward of his shield and didn't have the cooldown available to get another barrier. It is overtime, but the Fusion will be able to probably take point A here. Dallas will be running as quickly as they can to get back, but it's just AKM all the way up in the window. They'll have to give up that point.
That was such a sick play from
Snillo. Look how passively he's playing. He knows that
Neptuno.
He knows that there's an Infrasight in play right now. And this is where the Dallas Fuel can get aggressive. They kind of know this is a good time to go for it. Tough angles for a defender or attacking Widowmaker to really make use of here. Dallas over on that payload. Coco gets a bit of a meal to the face. It'll be that Riptide. And Harry only gets the one resurrect. So this fight kind of backfired a little bit now for the Dallas Fuel. Supercharger gets put down by Coco. He's really trying to hold the fort in this corner, but that shield placement there is going to be good. And it gets ripped apart. Neptuno, very timely use of the whole hog. You get that extra damage to push them.
There's the Infrasight as I thought Dallas did a nice job at that choke Mitch. They use the self-destruct and then they try and use a whole hog to push the players back into it. It didn't work. Here are some kills going in favor of the Dallas Fuel. See Seagull using that Riptire. He wants to push it a little further out. Yep.
He's just patrolling now. EQO drops it. Oh, they didn't know he was there. Cheeky. But Dallas was standing on the payload, so all it would have done was keep that overtime going. Hold thrown in. It's going to buy EQO a couple more moments as Seagull is knocked off course and Fraggy cannot get there. The Philadelphia Fusion will be holding. I think it's pretty clear what the Fuel are trying to do right now. I don't really think you need to see through walls. Oh, Unco. Nope, won't get back. Don't quite have. We have a lot of air control in Overwatch. Not quite that much.
That's unfortunate there. Gets hit with a mine from EQO. Gets sent off the side. They do get a DMEC here on a Poco. And they do get a pick on a Snillo. So
Poco, that was strange. It's like you overextended pretty heavily into that one.
AKM hits a shot through the shield there onto Boombox.
Now, if you're Philly, or if you're EQO right now, you just back out. Don't fight right now. You let them come to this next point. They took AKM down, and maybe that's going to delay them somewhat. Harry, ground position. He wants to make sure he can connect with them, though. He drops down now. Mickey gets a double self-destruct. That's what Dallas were looking for. AKM's down to the Riptire, but it's a 5v4 situation. Harry Hook doesn't get the Resurrector. He's taken down. Neptuno comes in from behind. Is it falling apart again for Dallas? It might just be. EQO is missing. 2 players on the payload, but Coco's taking a heck of a lot of damage. That should be a kill on Neptuno, and that's nice play from Unco. Shuts down the one player from the Fusion that could really ruin their fun for the time being. Who's going to stall out? Stillo has to drop onto the payload and goes down to AKM, who's at the backside. You can see him approaching now. The traces are ringing in from the shots he's taking. Fraggy and Poco slow things down for a moment. They've got to do this in tandem, one in and one out to try and stop the payload from getting over the line. And that self-destruct from Poco uncharacteristically doesn't yield any results. It's just EQO on the point now, forced into an early recall. Boombox being down. Dallas Fuel have the numbers here. They have the players to push this. Neptuno's going to have the drop next. No, Fraggy doesn't get there. The Dallas Fuel will come out with a consolation victory here on Junkertown, capping off a series that otherwise lacked few bright spots for them.
Check out our website at actionesports.com to stay up to date on the latest matches, highlights, and more. From scores, match history, and specific game info, we've got you covered for all things Overwatch esports. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out our channel for more action-packed content. Also, like and share this video, and click the subscribe button to join our notification squad. Thanks for watching.